What's going on, people? What's going on? We live, man. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Legends Talk, where we celebrate the stories of basketball icons who have left a lasting legacy in the world of basketball. In this episode, we uncover the extraordinary journey of Dwight Hardy, tracing his roots back from the gritty New York City streetball scene to international basketball stardom. Join us as we explore the pivotal moments, some challenges, as well as some triumphs. And we're gonna see, what shaped Hardy's career from his standout days at Kennedy High School to his standout days at St. John's and his success on the overseas platform. We're gonna tap into all of that. Get ready to be inspired by the remarkable journey by basketball legend Dwight Hardy. Welcome to Legends Talk, people. We live. Yo,
Yo, what's good, man?
what's up, my guy? How you, man?
Chilling, man. Taking it day by day.
Yes, sir, man. Right out the gate, man. I want to say thank you, for for accepting this invitation. To come chop it up with me. Really appreciate it.
No doubt, man. I got a lot of respect for the platform, and I had to come show love and tell my story.
Of course, man. And what a story it is, man. What a story it is. We're gonna get right into it, man, if you don't mind.
No doubt.
Cortlandt Avenue, man, Bronx, New York. Dating back to it's not easy growing up there. You know what I'm saying? From by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not sure where everybody's from, but if you know anything about the Bronx, it's not, growing up in in the 90s, 2000s, it wasn't a easy place. But for you, man, growing up, how did you get exposed to basketball, man? And when did you realize that this is something that you really wanted to do with your life?
I mean, like growing up in the Cortlandt Avenue area, it's famous for basketball players, So me basically growing up, I never really thought like it would be something I want to pursue long term. I just played for fun, picking up after the guys older than me and things like that. So I would say I started playing officially like around 7 years old, and I want to say I just was playing to play. To be honest, like just it was something to do. That's a rough neighborhood. It's another form of taking your mind and things off negativity and stuff like that. And so basketball was basically my escape route. I would say in my early teens though is when I really like enjoyed it and really like started really caring for it.
Right. Now in the neighborhood, was there anybody that kind of stuck out, in particular, like that you kind of like, like wanted to emulate their game, or you looked up to them in terms of their basketball game, and wanted to kind of follow those footsteps in terms of basketball is concerned?
Yeah, Curtis Stinson. He's a little older than me, but he was putting on for the town in major ways.
Nice.
Especially in college. So I kind of looked at him as like basically not like a idol, but like somebody I could like kind of follow the path, like in order to make it out of the rough neighborhood and things like that.
Right. Shout out to Curtis Stinson. Well respected dude in the city, and definitely put on for the city as well. But now fast forward in a little bit, man. You played for a legendary coach in Coach Mathis.
Right.
May he rest in peace. Now your junior year is something that are the legends. You know what I'm saying? The legends is made of. You know what I'm saying? Can you talk to me about like your junior year? What was your mindset like in terms of going into that? You know what I'm saying? Going into trying to have success, and ultimately you guys made it to the Garden, and you know what I'm saying. But what was your mindset like leading up to that junior year? And tell me about how you felt during that year.
Um, all right. I'll go before that. I played JV my 10th year, and I
Okay,
was
okay,
really above playing JV, but I didn't know at the time like how like low JV was compared to how I was playing. So
right,
Coach Mathis, he put me to the side during that season and told me about becoming a varsity my junior year, and like he think I could play a big part in what he already was building. They already had players there before me, so coming into that year, my whole goal was to, try to fit in and impact the team as much as I can, because they already had two like good guards and Amari and Emiliano. So when I got there and I seen how he ran the team and ran his offense, I knew I could make it like a for sure impact right away. And we kind of bonded real easy though, because they was like 2 point guards, and I was like more of like an off ball scorer. So
right,
I kind of fit right into his system, and we became like us three became like tight, like as far as chemistry wise, and we really started to mesh well together. And we had a feeling we was gonna do big things that year. So we just kind of stuck together, and every day in practice we went at each other and made sure that no matter what, we was gonna be a tight knit group to make a run for the PSAL championship.
right, right. You now I gotta rewind a little bit, man. You said you played JV.
Yeah, I did in 10th grade.
So 10th grade, so ninth grade, you didn't play at all.
No, I ain't played no basketball. To this day, I still don't know why, but I just didn't, to be
Was
honest.
it was it something that like? Did you try out? Or did it not work out for you? Or you know what I'm
I
saying?
didn't, I didn't, I didn't try out. I ain't do anything. I don't know. To be honest, like 9th grade, I still was I was halfway in basketball, halfway not caring. But
Right, right, right. Just
in
trying to
that
find your
stage,
way.
trying to figure out what's my journey or my goal at that point.
Now, were you were playing in neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, neighborhood tournaments or whatever, and I mean, would you say that you were pretty good at that time? Like, do you think that you could have made, the team, or you know what I'm saying, like, what was your skill set like at that time?
I mean, I was dominating in neighborhood tournaments. Me and my best friend was like one of the best backcourts, like as far as neighborhood tournaments went.
Right, right, and
And I always like going into high school, like I don't know, for some reason it didn't hit me to play right away. I don't know why. I don't know what it was.
right, right.
But I know for sure I could have played though. For sure.
So you played JV, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Knowing of the scorer that you became, I'm sure you had to average at least. Well, I don't even.
Nah, I,
Man,
I was averaging close to 50 in JV.
you said 50. That's unheard of right there. But I believe it coming from you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I ain't gonna sugarcoat. That's a fact.
Right, right. Now you guys made it, you know what I'm saying, your junior year, you guys made it all the way to the Garden, and you guys faced a reputable opponent in Lincoln. You know what I'm saying? Was there any any fear there, any nervousness, what I'm saying? What was your mind telling you at that time, or were you just going in and going in to destroy at that point?
I mean, I ain't gonna speak for nobody else, but I was nervous as hell.
Word.
It's Madison Square Garden. It's like probably the biggest stage I've been on so far, like in my basketball journey. I'm a junior. Like I'm still trying to like make my mark as far as like on the varsity team. So for me, it was nerve wracking. Until like once the jump ball go up and the first couple minutes you get it out your system, then everything is just normal. Now you just play your game.
Right. Now, at that point, walking into the Garden, you know what I'm saying, you're in the locker room, this, that, and the third, did that kind of start, sparking a little bit of an interest in playing at the Garden? You know what I'm saying? Like, in hindsight, you wind up going to St. John's and playing a majority of your games at the Garden. So I'm trying to find out, like, when did that spark happen for you?
That's definitely when it happened. And to
Right,
be honest, like I wasn't that hip. My junior, I wasn't that hip on college basketball like that.
Right.
Like I was out the loop for a lot of things my high school during high school, but once I found out they was playing there the majority of the time, after that game, it definitely clicked. Like, oh man, if I could like play some more games in the Garden, that'd be special.
Right. Right. Now, winning that chip on that garden floor, that had to been, that had to been a milestone in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like what, on the terms of like the your accomplishments, where does that rank up in terms of all the accomplishments that you've had in your career?
I would say probably top three
Okay.
because that's when I really knew what winning felt like as a basketball player. Like I won tournament trophies and all that 7 feet, 6 feet trophies, but winning like in Madison Square Garden in front of on national TV in front of a big crowd like that and receiving a ring, especially for JFK being a powerhouse like Lincoln, that was like one of my proudest moments of my life.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact, man. You know what I'm saying? I would feel the same way. You know what I'm saying? Especially beating Lincoln, because Lincoln is one of the well known programs in the city. JFK not as well known as as a Lincoln, but yeah, man, you kind of put them on the map in terms of them being a force to be recognized and to be reckoned with. So salute to you on that, man.
Appreciate it.
Being able to accomplish that. Now, moving on to your senior year, like what I'm saying, this is where everything starts. I mean, you already had the winning experience, right? You already got that taste in your mouth, pause, and you know what I'm saying. Now you're with a team. You're trying to double back on that championship. Um, you average 40 points a game. You know what I'm saying? Tell me about that, man. Like you pretty much carried the team having that experience. But tell me about what about that year, what your mindset was like going in, and what it was like. You know what I'm saying? Averaging 40, man. That's something everybody doesn't get to do.
Yeah, I mean that year was special.
Did you
Not
go
only
in?
for me,
Did you
but for
go
my
in on
teammates.
some? My fault for cutting you off, but did you go in like, yo, I'm going to average 40 this year, or you know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
I didn't. I actually went into my senior year, to be honest, knowing it was my last year, knowing we just won a championship, and knowing that I wish like we could go back to defend it. You feel me? I didn't. I mean, I knew I needed to have a big year, but I ain't expected to be like that, to be honest.
Right, right,
So before the season kicked off, we had work. We used to have workouts like at 6 in the morning. Like Coach Matt used to have us in the gym right before class. Trying to build chemistry and a bond together. And we have some people coming back, and then we got other players joining varsity at that time. So
right,
for me, I just like sharpen my game, and just told myself I got to be prepared for whatever because I know it's known players in the cities that I was going to be going up against too as well.
right, right. So, like, did when you facing your opponents, right? In terms of, I know there's a scouting report and things of that nature, but how much are you thinking about your opponents in terms of next week I got such and such, or you know what I'm saying, like thinking about the other opponents that may have a big name as well, like how much do you think about facing that other opponent as opposed to just going in and just doing your thing?
I mean, I love that. I love like knowing that I got somebody on the other end of me that's just as good as me or better. To be honest, from a personal standpoint, I look at it as a challenge, but also from a team standpoint, I'm like, I know what I got to do myself, and all I need is like my teammates to back me up with a little bit of help. That's how I win into every big game against a big player. Because we wasn't the best team, like what I'm saying, but we had you had me, which I'm gonna play well
Right,
9 times every night. But it was more so my supporters, my teammates. So
right.
I always look forward to a challenge, especially if it's another great player on the other side. But it's bigger than me though. At the end of the day, it's about winning.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. Now, you know what I'm saying, averaging 40, you're gonna garner some attention, right? You're gonna get some attention from maybe the colleges, the newspapers, whatever the case may be. Like, um, like did you start getting like recruited at that point? Did you start getting college letters? If so, like what was your first college letter? And you know what I'm saying? Do you remember what school it was from?
Yeah, I definitely remember my first letter. Not offer. My first letter I got was from Central Connecticut.
Mm,
I'll never forget it because I didn't know what the hell that was, to be honest.
right, right.
So I got them, and then as kept playing better, like more like mid major started hitting me up. Like Hofstra, St. Francis, and then that time came when I got Seton Hall, St. John's. That's when like I was told like this is like the high level schools.
Right.
And St. John, being that St. John's played in the Garden, I was when they informed me that I kind of toned everybody out, to be honest.
Mm. Yeah, and I mean, it's a great opportunity, great school. I mean, getting that interest. Did you kind of like as another school would become interested in you? Would you like kind of like phase the other schools out? You know what I'm saying? Prior to St. John's, becoming interested.
Not in high school. Nah, I kept everything open, but
Okay.
that was my main. That was like my favorite though.
Right, right. You were just waiting. You was waiting for that. You was waiting
Yeah,
for that St. John's. Now, you know what I'm saying, doing the homework and looking into your career. After JFK, you ended up going prep. Was that, what I'm saying, because of grades, or was that because of another situation? What made you go to prep? And could you talk about your experience there at Indian Hills Prep School, and what kind of impact did that have on your development as a player?
I mean, yeah, it definitely was because of grades. No matter how good I was at basketball in high school, class just wasn't it.
Right.
And it's not that I wasn't trying; it's so much distractions. So Coach Mathis came to me after the season and said he had a prep school for me. It was in North Carolina, Patterson Prep. So I ended up going there, and that probably was the moment I got shaped it into like a great basketball player because
Oh, it was Patterson Prep, you said.
yeah, Patterson Prep.
Okay.
It was so many elite guys there that academically couldn't get out of high school, so they had to go prep. And I on my team, man, I played with some great players, man. So it molded me like into like, especially being away from home too. That was my first time being away from my family. I had of course, I don't know if you know, but I had a daughter coming out of high school.
Right.
So being away from my family, my friends, and in the middle of nowhere in North Carolina at a prep school, like you had to toughen up. You know what I'm saying? And playing against elite players every day and going out there and battling with them, I think that molded me into like that gave me my toughness because I'm a laid back guy. Like even if I might be giving you 40, but I don't talk trash. I don't do nothing. So that being in prep school gave me a lot of toughness though, as far as like being on your own and
Right.
handling your business as a young adult.
Right, right. It starts more to become a business rather than, what I'm saying, just going out there and hooping. And
Yeah,
what I'm saying, I went to prep as well, so I know exactly, what I'm saying, some of the things that you kind of face. What I'm saying, I didn't have a daughter or a son at that time, but I could only imagine, what I'm saying, having your family, hundreds of miles away, and you doing your thing at a prep school, trying to further your career, and really trying to just establish yourself. But
yeah.
at prep, I'm sure, there were a lot of schools that were on you, especially if you were doing well. What was college recruiting like for you? At the prep school, and what kind of schools kind of show interest at that time?
All right, so in prep, we had a pretty good season. I played well. I was about 14. I still had St. John's interested, Seton Hall was still interested, but then I started picking up like schools like on the others, not on the East Coast like that. Like I would say this is all interested though. Like nobody knows nobody's serious with. I got West Virginia. I had VCU. Um, I can't think. Hey, that's a long time ago, but
like 20
there was
years.
a couple schools that they to this day they still powerhouses in college basketball. But St. John's, you know, it was the same old, same old. Like,
Right, right.
get to St. John's, man.
Now you made you made the prep school stop, and you also went to a junior college, if I'm not mistaken. Is that
Yeah.
tell me about that experience, and if you feel like the JUCO route or level of basketball gets overlooked sometimes.
So
Or
yeah, when I was in prep school, like I couldn't get my grades high enough to be eligible because I had graduated in high school, that was something that wasn't told to me. I didn't know. I froze my GPA, so me going to school in prep school, it was nothing. My GPA, it couldn't help my GPA in no way. So basically, I still was ineligible, you know, to
right.
play D1. So I ended up going to JUCO, Indian Hills in Iowa. They was the top JUCO at the time. Still is one of the top JUCOs, even when I was there. And that probably was the moment when I realized I could play Division I basketball at a high level because there's so many guys. Some are older, like they're on the same path as me, basically trying to get to a D1 school.
Right.
And the competition was crazy. Like every night out, you playing against some top guys that came out of high school. So every night you had to be on your game. So it basically molded me into like a fierce competitor at the time because I'm more of a laid back competitor, but that kind of gave me like the boost and the edge. Like, you know, I got a little more meaner. I took a little trash here and there, but I think JUCO is very overlooked though, to be honest. Very overlooked. And I think it can help out a lot of players instead of going from high school rushing, to play at a D1.
Right, right. Now, ultimately, what I'm saying, you picked St. John's, because you were kind of stuck on them, from from your earlier years. But what kind of, what really led you to St. John's in terms of like your experience? I mean, what kind of, like, were you already set, like, yo, I don't care who recruits me, I don't care, who comes knocking on the door. If St. John's want me, I'm going there. Was it that type of situation?
50-50. It wasn't like 50% of me was like, no matter what, I want to go there. And like the other 50 was like, I wanted to go there because I just had a kid. So
Right, right,
I didn't want to like get sent off like to the West Coast or something like that. You know, my kid is newly born into the world.
right,
I wanted to be around it. So that those two things right there, it was like, and I got like a lot of interest though in JUCO though. Like it really picked up. Like bad, like good, not bad, but in a good way.
right, right,
The
right.
way like I thought sometimes like, man,
Now,
I
yeah,
don't know, but
that's what JUCO is there for, man.
yeah, they come. If you succeeded in JUCO at the JUCO level, you're gonna get them like interest and offers.
Right, right.
But to answer your question, it was St. John's the whole way, to be honest with you.
Nah, that's a fact. Now I'm gonna transition this just a little bit over to the street ball realm, right? I got a question for you, man. What was your favorite street ball tournament in New York? And do you think that street ball tournaments like help in your development in terms of, you know, in terms of toughness or whatever? Like, what I'm saying, how do you think that street ball tournaments, specifically in New York, kind of help in your development?
Um, to answer your first question, my favorite streetball tournament would have to be Hoops in the Sun.
Mm. Shout out to Joe and Randy Cruz,
Definitely shout out to them, Uncle G Stacks,
G Stacks, everybody over there at Hoops in the Sun.
and that's where I really started at though. So it's a little biasness there. So
Nah, yeah,
it was a great feeling like to play. You on the beach, you playing in the hot sun, fans coming out, sweating, just coming to watch talent play. And it was very structured and organized too. Like everything was on time, nothing like that. So
they also got that 94 feet, that 94-foot court. That's
yeah, that too.
regulation. You know what I'm saying? You playing under the hot sun. So you know what I'm saying, there's some kind of there's some adversity that you got to face there without even playing a game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not easy playing there at all. It was
Please.
the games I played, man. I feel like I couldn't even breathe because I'm dehydrated, things like that. So I would say Houston the Sun is my favorite as far as everything around it, like the structure. And I have to say this too, like Dyckman is probably like is right up there too though.
Now, of course, Dykeman is always going to be there. Shout out to Kenny Stevens, everybody over at Dykeman, Cha-Ching. Um, Cha-Ching wasn't out there when you was balling out there, was he?
He was out there at like I actually played probably like 2 3 years ago. I came back out.
Oh,
He
okay,
was there.
okay,
But he was there like for the latter when I was winding down from playing streetball. Like
right,
he
right.
was there for a few games.
And you actually made the Hoops in the Sun Hall of Fame out there, correct?
Yeah, yep, definitely.
Nah, that's dope. That's dope, man. I'm hearing you won a couple championships out there. You know what I'm saying? Definitely well respected out there. So salute.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Hoops in the Sun. Got a few chips, couple MVPs.
Yeah, yeah. Something light, something light.
This is my demeanor, bro. I ain't really.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, I could dig it. I could dig it. But how did the atmosphere, man, and the energy of just street ball tournaments in general, like a Dykeman or Hoops in the Sun, how did that influence your passion for the game?
I would say because it's rugged. You got. Of course, you're playing against great competition. Then you got the audience who's heckling you when you're not doing well,
Right,
and then you just got the overall everything is people smoking, drinking, being loud. It's a lot of distractions when it comes to street ball. So I think that atmosphere like that, it kind of like toughen you up, like to stay on your job and do what you got to do.
right, right. Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts at those tournaments.
Yeah, man.
Hecklers, people, you know what I'm saying? People don't want you to do good. People want you to do good. You got, like you said, people smoking, drinking, carrying on. So definitely a lot of distractions out there,
But I
man.
think I think I think that's what make New York City street ball great though too. Though is that it's just not quiet. Like it's not like no scrimmage. It don't feel like a scrimmage. Like everybody's just watching. I think you need that aspect of basketball. Like you got somebody talking trash to you on this side. You got somebody cheering for you on that side. I think it's needed though. Like it's perfect.
Right. Now, in the street ball sense, right? In the street ball scene, did you have anybody that you just love to play against? Any rivalries that you know what I'm saying, that you kind of you get up to play? Is there anybody in particular that you know what I'm saying, that you could name that you enjoyed going at it with on the street ball level?
Individual or like team wise?
Individual.
Individually, not really nobody individual. I would say like if you want to like a team though, like Sean Bell and Bingo for
Mm.
sure. I love playing against them.
Yeah, Sean Bell always gotta. They always gonna have a good team. Bingo All Stars always gonna have a good team too. So it don't really matter you know what I'm saying, who's on the team. You know they're gonna come to play
They stacked every game.
every game, every game. Now now, like the street ball scene, right? Do you approach it differently than a say, you know what I'm saying, something at the garden, you know what I'm saying? Or like do you approach it differently, like in terms of your mindset, or how do you approach it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like is it a lot different than an organized game?
I mean, my mindset is still the same, like to kill whoever in front of you. But street ball is free for all. In
Right,
college, you kind of, I mean, not all teams, but you in a system, but you still could kill somebody in the system too. So
right,
I
right.
think street ball, you got more leeway to do whatever you want, if you ask me.
Coach ain't gonna pull you if you
Yeah, like it's like go go. It's like go.
right, get it back on defense type of shit.
Yeah.
Now, looking back on your experiences out there, man, in them street ball tournaments, like, what do you value most from your experience in competing in those tournaments? I know you mentioned the atmosphere, and things like that, man. But is there anything else that kind of, you know what I'm saying, that you value in terms of, it could be like the coaches, the team, the people, anything else that you could think of that you value a lot in terms of street ball?
I mean, to be honest, I value playing against the best. I mean, and I feel like this don't get a lot of credit, but I think people, New York City basketball players respect each other more than people think. Like we might go at it on the court, but like behind the scenes, everybody got respect for each other.
Right.
I just value that. I value like yeah, we might go at it in the game, but once the buzzer go off, it's like yo, good game. I value that. I don't like for me like I don't like the you hate each other on the court and then it becomes something off the court. Like I
Right.
don't like that part of basketball.
You just leave everything on
You
the
leave
court.
everything on the court. You either win or lose. You get killed or you kill somebody. That's just what it is. So I
Right.
value that. Like that's what I look for. Like, and I don't talk trash. So I had plenty of opponents talk trash to me. Like, and I just look at them like I just laugh at them because at the end of the day, I know what I'm gonna do when I get the ball. So it don't matter.
Yeah, I wish I was as nice as you were, man, because I would have been talking hella trash.
Yeah, I just don't got that in me though. That's not me, and I ain't gonna be somebody I'm not.
Right. Nah, I respect that. I respect that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to get caught up in that, especially like you said with the hecklers and the people talking trash. You know what I'm saying? It's hard not to just fire back and talk your trash. But you know what I'm saying? You stay focused. You stay focused the way that you stay focused. But back to St. John's, man. I mean you wind up going to St. John's. You know what I'm saying? Was it looking back on your experience, man, was it what you expected, or you know what I'm saying? Like, did you expect more from it, less from it? What was your experience like overall?
Overall, it was halfway what I expected. I mean, it's just because my senior year was everything I expected. Let me get that out the way right now. I don't got no complaints about my senior year. It was just my junior year that it was a couple of things I didn't necessarily agree with as far as me and my situation there.
Was it more so like coaching, or was it like something else, or you know what I'm saying? Because everybody don't see eye to eye in terms of the coaching staff and everything else like that. Was it more so the coaching, or was it something else?
It was more so playing time and being used the right way.
Right, right.
Like I said, I didn't have no discrepancies with the coaching staff or nothing. Like everything was fine. I just felt like I wasn't being put in the best situation for me to show my full ability to help the team.
Right, right. And you know what I'm saying? Who better than who's gonna know that better than you? You know what I'm saying? So definitely you want to be utilized in the right manner, so that you guys could win those games that you know what I'm saying, that you set out to win. Um, Looking back on your career in college, who was one of your toughest opponents, man, that you had to face?
In college, I would say probably Marshawn Brooks.
Mm, Marshawn Brooks. He went to the league, didn't he? He went to the league. He got drafted. Where Marshawn went to?
The Nets.
No, I'm saying what college Marshawn
Oh,
went?
Providence.
Providence, right? Yeah. I'm thinking Chris Dunn for a second. Chris Dunn went to Providence too.
Yeah.
But what about what you know what I'm saying? What about his game gave you the most challenges?
He was just slinky. He played very slow. That was another. Like, and then he just get to his spots and he could score from anywhere on the floor. Like he was damn near unstoppable. You know, I just admire like players that play at their own pace and get any shot that they want. And he was able to do that. You know, I was in St. John's for 2 years, so
Right, right.
I got 2 years of that. So I could imagine if somebody got four.
Shout out to Marshawn Brooks, man.
Yeah, but he was tough, man.
Definitely tough. Now, if anybody knows St. John's during the time you was there, they would know that you guys went crazy for a little stretch, right? You guys went, you guys were beating ranked opponents. I think it was like 6 or 7 ranked opponents in one year. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was it like to have Madison Square Garden on their feet, rooting and cheering for you, man? Like, everybody don't get that experience, man. So, you know what I'm saying? In terms of being in that moment, and you know what I'm saying, the Garden is somewhere, it's a legendary spot, man, legendary place. But from you, man, like, what was it like just to have the Garden rocking? and everybody cheering for you, everybody, you know what I'm saying? Just like, you know what I'm saying? What was that experience like for you?
I mean, that probably is the best experience I had in my life, basketball was, because like I said, we won in high school, and that was right. I thought that was rocking. I thought that was crazy. A couple hundred yelling at the top of their lungs. So to be able to, perform in Madison Square Garden at the collegiate level and beat ranked teams too that's well established, and to hear our fans, going crazy, that like it don't get no better than that. I mean, it gave us all the confidence in the world. Like when we won our first game at the Garden against a good team, we just ain't no team gonna beat us here because we got the support of the fans and we got our confidence too.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Now, you guys went you faced off against another opponent, another Big East opponent, um, another Bronx native, Kemba Walker. Um, can you tell me a little bit about matching up with him on the big stage? And you know what I'm saying? Did you guys? I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys knew each other off the court. Um, but what was that like? You know what I'm saying? Facing off at the collegiate level.
It was great. I mean, we knew each other not that well off the court. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
Like we know of each other,
right.
and for me, for me more so it was more of a challenge for me because he known in high school, one of the best players to come out of New York, putting on for UConn at the moment. So for me, me, I was like underlooked and all that. So for me, I just wanted to play well and win. And it became bigger than what it was because they his friends, my friends, they was trash talking before the game. So for
Yeah,
me, like my main focus was let's go out here, let's win. At the end of the day, we trying to make the tournament, but you know, it's a side of me that it's like it's competitive. Like we both from the Bronx. Let's get it on. You feel me?
right, right. It's like
So
a
I
boxing
had
match.
that chip on my shoulder. To try to go at him or whatever. And I don't know how he felt, and it doesn't matter. But for me, I wanted to kill him, but
Of
not
course,
because it's not personal, but just for let people know
competition.
like I'm one of them too. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I mean, only a fierce competitor is gonna feel like that. You know what I'm saying? And somebody confident in their abilities
Yeah,
is gonna get in the ring with another heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? And go at it. You know what I'm saying? And embrace the challenge.
yeah. That's all it was really. It's competitive stuff. You know what I'm saying?
No, of course, man, of course. And you know what I'm saying, you being from the Bronx, him being from the Bronx, I'm sure his peoples was talking, your peoples was talking. So, you know what I'm saying, it builds up
More
the,
exciting. It made it more exciting for the match.
that's a fact. That's a fact. Now, looking back on your career, I mean 2011, you made the first team all Big East. Now, what did it feel like to be recognized by the Big East Conference, which is one of the best conferences in the country, being recognized by them as one of the best players in the conference and in the country, really?
It was amazing accomplishment for me. I got a lot of respect for the guys that was first team Big East with me. You know what I'm saying? Ben Hansborough, Ashton Gibbs, Austin Freeman, Kemba. Pardon me. So it felt good. It felt like I finally got the recognition I deserved. Like growing up, I always felt like I was nice. You feel me? But I just wasn't recognized. And sometimes that's the best way to get recognized is not being recognized and proving that you belong up there with those guys. So for me, it was an honorable moment for me, and I know it's something that nobody can ever take away from me.
No, that's a fact, man. Everybody don't get that those are kind of accomplishments happen to them. So, you know what I'm saying, especially being from the Bronx, Cortland Avenue, everybody don't get that chance. So, you know what I'm saying? Salute to you for that.
Appreciate it, bro.
Um, Now, looking back on your career, man, how did that, how did playing at St. John's kind of shape you as a player and as a person?
Um, as a player, it made me. I'm playing against some of the best people in the country now. We're not just talking about New York. We're talking about in the country. And for me to hold my own, it gave me all the confidence. Like I could be one of the best players in the country. Like you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Um, as a person, it just made me more mature. More mature. And not even on the basketball. It's like getting up. Got to go to work until 6 a.m. Go to class at 8. Also prepared me for real life too.
Right.
So I think St. John's was the like I don't feel like I made a mistake on there. I felt like even though I felt like my junior year was not what I wanted to be, I feel like I ended on a strong note. And at the end of the day, it helped me, become the man I am today.
Right. Right. Now, what do you think about this transfer portal, man? Like nowadays, every year, man, more and more kids are entering the transfer portal, changing schools. They may, you know, they may face some adversity and want to jump ship for whatever reason. Are you for or are you against that?
To be honest, I'm leaning towards against because I feel like players are like running from the grind or like the work they got to put in to better themselves the next year. I just feel like transferring. First of all, transferring to another school don't guarantee nothing. In my opinion, I feel like players should stick it out, get in the gym, become a better player, and just grind. I feel like, but now with the NIL, all that, they changed college though. It's like it ain't the same. Like when I was in college.
That's true. That's true. Like so, thinking about, I'm saying you did an incredible job at St. John's. I'm saying you kind of brought them back from a little slump that they were in terms of their publicity and things of that nature. Was the NBA? I'm sure like every kid that touches a basketball, man, dreams of one day becoming an NBA pro. Was a pro career in the NBA ever in the conversation for you, or what I'm saying, did you always figure out that overseas would be your thing?
To be honest, NBA was not really on my mind like that. I'm a realist though. At the end of the day, I know like going like having the season I was having as a senior, like midway through the season, I knew like I I just my sec. I only had 2 years here. This is probably my breakout year. My junior year wasn't nothing really. So I already had that feeling like I doubt like the NBA gonna be a possibility. So for me, like me having that in my mind already, it wasn't no disappointment to me like that.
Right. Now, when did the overseas thing kind of creep into your mind, and what I'm saying, was that something that you was kind of looking forward to? I know you said you had a family at a young age. Tell me about what's going through your mind in terms of what I'm saying, having to maybe leave now overseas where you can't just what I'm saying, take a quick flight, or you can't get on a bus, or you can't get on a train and jump back home anytime you wanted to. Like, tell me about that, man.
Like even in college though, I didn't know much about overseas neither. Like
Right.
until like after my senior year, I got invited to Portsmouth, and
And
I played
Portsmouth,
well.
Portsmouth
So
is
I
what?
met my agent. I played well there, and then that's when he started introducing me to like across the waters and all, like telling me about provide for my family and things like that, and the type of money you could make and all that. So
When
for
you said
me, it was like, oh man, here we go again. I got to leave, like
right,
leave my family.
you said Portsmouth. What exactly? What's that? A camp?
It's it's like an invitational for senior, like undrafted seniors and all that, or like not like highly like touted seniors.
Right, right. So
So
that's where you
yeah.
met your agent, and he kind of gave you the rundown on the international market, and told and kind of, did he guarantee you that he could get you a job out there, or Like,
Basically, yeah, he did.
okay,
You know, and then basically that was like, he told me, you know, I'll get you make you some good money throughout the years. So it basically was a gamble, to be honest. I didn't know him from a hole in the wall, you know.
right, right,
I just knew his resume and the players he had before me. So I know at this point, I'm like, I'm out of college. I still want to play. NBA is 9 times out of 10 not gonna happen. So if I could provide for my daughter at the time, why not?
right, right. Now, your first pro team was an opportunity in Italy. What was it like for you being from the Bronx and now having to adjust yourself to a new culture, a new language, and just new everything else, man? Like, what was that like stepping off that flight, not knowing, you know what I'm saying, not knowing what to expect?
Um, Going out like on the flight there, I was like everything was running through my mind. Like, will I get homesick? Well, I not like the culture. Like me being away from my family. Like, well, how I'm gonna make it through a whole season? You know, it's 10 months. So a lot of things was going on. But as I as I went through physicals, training camp, and all that, Italy is like really like not that bad, not that far from America though. Like a lot of people speak English.
Yeah,
So I was very comfortable, and then plus, you know, my daughter and my wife, they came out immediately too, though.
right, right. Oh, that's tough.
So I had you know family support actually with me instead of like FaceTime, not FaceTime, but over the phone,
Right, right.
things like that. So that kind of kept me sane as far as my mental, and all I could do now, all I had to do now was focus on basketball.
Right, right. I mean, and that you did, man. You got, you know what I'm saying, MVPs out there. Your first couple years. Like, tell me about the competition out there, man. Like, were you just like, was it light for you, or you know what I'm saying? Like, was it hard? Was the competition better than the competition that you faced in college? Like, tell me about that a little bit.
Nah, I won't lie. The competition ain't light. I will say that it's not light at all. And compared to like the states, I would say the states is more athletic, is more up and down like that. But I think overseas though they more smarter, so you have to adjust to their style of play. Like it's not all skill all the time. It's about thinking ahead of a play, thinking after the play. It's just mad things that go into like playing overseas. Like they just so ahead mentally.
Now, did you go in like thinking about like now I want to know about the adjustment period, right? Like in terms of not knowing the language. You said a lot of people knew English out there, right? So it wasn't as bad, you know what I'm saying, not really knowing the language, too much or whatever. But like tell me more about that adjustment period, man. Just kind of getting adjusted to your team. Did they see, did they know you were coming and kind of like deferred to you in terms of being, the leader that you were on say like the St. John's team, or did you have to earn, what I'm saying, earn everything in terms of the respect?
Well, my rookie season, I will like there was like two Americans there too that signed with me, and they were older at the time, so they've been through more. So they kind of guided me like through everything. Like basically, like I got the fresher legs, so most of the weight is gonna be on me. They help me like anything I need as far as like adjusting to the game or off the court. So my first year I would say it was easy though because I had guidance,
Right.
and I was saying they know English. That's because I was in Italy though. In Italy they know English. Let me adjust it. Like it was pretty good. I didn't really have to like struggle to understand them.
Right, right. I mean,
But
you played in Turkey, you played in a couple places, so
played Italy, Turkey, and France throughout my 10 and a half years. But my first year in Italy was a breeze though. Like, as far as like adjusting though, clearly was the best player on the team though.
would you say? Would you say?
I clearly was like the best player on the team.
Right, right. So was it like that first couple months you had to prove yourself, and then everybody kind of fell in line in terms of knowing that you was the leader of that team, or was it still people? You know what I'm saying? Did you really have to like earn it, like on say like a tryout basis? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Um, Nah, it wasn't a tryout. I would say, to be honest, I think they knew when I was coming in to do, but in the back of my mind, my mind was always I'm gonna make them like understand who I am.
Make them a
So
believe.
it didn't take like a couple games. It took before the season started. It took training camp and all that. Honestly.
Right, right. Now, in terms of the game, though, like what was some of the differences that you noticed between playing college basketball in the States and then playing professionally overseas?
Oh man, like the one that stood out the most is the aggressiveness.
Mm.
Like they could literally like put you in a chokehold and you might not get that. Like that's serious though. Like it was crazy. Like they blatantly foul you and like it's no call.
Looking at the ref like, yo,
I'm like, yo. So that was like one of the hardest things for me too. My first year, it was like I'm literally getting like chopped going down the lane. Like and it's like I'm
no,
looking at the ref and he just running down court.
no blood, no foul.
So that was like one of the biggest adjustments for me, and that also makes you tougher too.
Wow,
So once I got that part down pat, it was whatever. Like
what was some of the challenges that you faced out there, man? I know there was, what I'm saying, and I know you got homesick a couple times. You said you played in Turkey. Now I don't know what kind of food is out there, but what I'm saying, like getting adjusted to the food. Was that an issue for you? Like, what I'm saying, what challenges did you face out there?
um, in Turkey for sure was the food. Um, they have restaurants where they got like Americans things like that, but as far as like a good meal, like it was tough for me because
Ain't no soul food out there, man.
nah, it was nothing like. Only time I got that like it's like when my family came.
Right, right.
So I think like maintaining a healthy diet and things like that is the hardest thing to do
Of course.
because if you don't like the culture of food, it's like first thing you run to is like a fast food spot, and
Right.
that's no good. So for me, like Turkey, now I would say Turkey is where the English was like, oh, like damn, you know what I'm saying?
Like, yo, I can't understand
Like
nothing.
nah, I don't understand nothing. Like I had to lie, like I didn't know no Turk. Only thing I knew, like I could understand. I could understand Turk. Like as far as the Turkish language is basketball terms.
Right, right. Like pass and cut type shit.
Yeah, I know. Like when they say that in Turkish, like I know what it is.
Like, so in terms of basketball though, right? Like how hard was it playing out there, not knowing the language and not really being able to communicate, man? I mean, it, you gotta, if you get frustrated, you want to tell your teammate, yo, I need you to post up, or I need you to, what I'm saying, I need you to give me the ball right here. Like, how
Yo,
tough
I'm
is
not gonna lie. You gotta really like tell them, like, yo, right there, right there.
that? You gotta do a
It's
lot of,
basically sign language. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but only thing good was about Turkey, it was like we got 3 Americans on the team. So,
Right, right.
and then if you got a coach that don't speak English, you got a translator. So it's not that hard. But like, if you really like trying to explain something to a domestic player, a player that's from that country, there's always like one guy on the team that understands half. So like he'll know what I'm saying, and then he'll translate it in their language to him, and then
Did anybody go at you out there? Like, what I'm saying, I'm sure you wasn't perfect out there. You know what I'm
hell
saying?
no, I wasn't perfect nowhere.
Right, right. So what I'm saying? Like, in terms of, I'm just trying to get at in terms of the people that's out there. Was they talking trash to you? Like, can you tell that they talking trash in terms of not, what I'm saying? They talking in their language. So, what I'm saying? Like, how was that? Like the back and forth in terms of competition.
Now I will say this though, this like Italy was. I played 3 years. My first 3 years of Italy, it was cool. I was the same like laid back person. But when I got to Turkey though, I had to like talk. I had to talk trash because they talk trash.
Right.
Like, and you might not know what they're saying, but you know body language.
Hmm.
You know when somebody's talking crazy. So you know me, like, all right, I laugh it off. I score. I talk. I'm talking, pointing, and they don't like that. So I got teed up a couple of times, but
I don't know how they gonna tee you up. They don't know what you're saying.
Nah, but they see the aggression though. Like the refs, they know. Like
Right,
they
right,
know. Like when the Americans is turning up,
right.
they know.
Now with your fellow Americans out there, I'm sure y'all was a, you know what I'm saying, a tight unit. Anybody that you want to, you know what I'm saying, shout out in terms of your teammates, you know what I'm saying, that really kind of helped you through that process out there.
Yeah, I want to shout out Jerome Randall, Sean Marshall, Terrence Kinsey, DJO, Darius Johnson Odom, Casper Ware. I mean Trey Golden, Sean Armand. Shout out to Sean. I mean, I played with Jawan Johnson. I played with so many great players, man. Like, and just like being around those guys and like picking up, their habits and seeing how they move every day as a professional, like that really helped me like sustain like a long career overseas.
Right. Now, you're not too far removed from playing overseas.
Nah.
Actually, a few years ago, did you call it quits, or did you know what I'm saying? Are you willing to get back out there? Like, what's your mindset now? Seeing that you're kind of a couple years removed from your last competition.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, where are you with that?
To be honest, I'm not playing overseas no more. But I think I'm done. Like as far as professionally, it was just I just came to that conclusion 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of things wasn't going in my favor as far as like deals and contracts and things like that. I just didn't want to deal with it no more. Like I feel like I did enough. Like I put myself in a position where I could take care of my family,
Hmm.
my wife, and my beautiful 3 daughters. So for me, I still love basketball. Like I might pop out this summer, man. Like I still want to play. Like I just don't want to go through that no more. As far as traveling far and wasting my time like that, I can't do it.
Right. Now I know a lot of. Yeah, I'm bugging out because you just said you about to pop out this summer, but I'm about to get back to that. In terms of like playing overseas, man, like a lot of people. I mean, if they call you and make you an offer that you can't refuse, you still you just like you like done with that.
I mean,
You
off,
you you
man.
probably have to explore that at that time if it happens.
Yeah, I can't like give no definitive answer right now. Like I'm
Right,
just at a happy place in my life. Like
that's a
taking
fact.
care of my family, and I love basketball. Like, I'm gonna love it forever, but
Yeah,
it's a lot. Like a lot of people, it's a lot going through that process, and
yeah,
I did it for 10.5 years.
yeah. Nah,
So
that's it.
right now
It
I'm
takes
at
its
peace. Like
toll.
I don't regret nothing. Like
It takes
so,
takes its toll on you. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
gonna be hard. Like it's gonna be hard. Like if somebody try to like hit me with something, it's gonna be tough.
Right. They're gonna have to get the Brinks truck out.
Yeah.
Now, like, did you ever experience anything funny? Like, I talked to a lot of pros that played overseas. Some of them, had situations with the money being funny, and or the team went bankrupt, or you know what I'm saying, things like that. Did you experience some of those kind of setbacks out there that kind of gave you a bad taste?
Yeah, I did. I dealt with a lot. I ain't never dealt with no team just like not having no money though.
Right.
Like in the middle of the season, not going bankrupt. Nah, I ain't deal with that.
Yeah.
And I played on some clubs for a pretty good price, but yeah, late payments and things like that. They. I mean, to be honest, like I don't want. I ain't trying to shy nobody from playing overseas, but there's a lot that come with that though. Like it ain't all glitz and glamour though. Like it's like you got teams, you got organizations that you lose 2 games in a row, like your payment tomorrow, you don't see it. They like because you ain't performing well, but in all reality, like it's guaranteed money. Like you supposed to get paid.
Right.
But they hold it. You gotta hit your agent up. You gotta threaten to take them to court. Like I had to threaten a few teams to take them to court. It's like it's times when like I ain't like my pay date was like a week late. I'm still coming to
Oh,
practice. I'm still giving them my orders. Then I hit my
yeah.
agent like, yo, I ain't coming to practice.
Right, like yo,
Like, you better call
what do
them
you
and tell them like I ain't playing, I ain't do nothing. Then next morning, that's the money automatically in your bank account. So you gotta kind of like you gotta kind of like threaten them to get your money in certain situations.
Right, right. Yeah, that's the ugly part of
Right.
playing overseas. A lot of people say that the money, especially with the Americans, that the money sometimes get funny, and what I'm saying, and then you gotta threaten threaten to hold out on them and stuff like that. So yeah, man, that's some of the ugly parts of being overseas. But looking back on your journey, man, and you know what I'm saying, in basketball so far, what are you most proud of, and what do you have any future aspirations in the sport? Maybe maybe coaching, maybe what I'm saying, I don't know. Um, do you have any future aspirations in the sport?
Yeah, I think definitely down the line I want to coach at some level. I don't know which level yet, but 5, 10 years from now, I definitely want to be a coach. To help people build their careers and things like that. The thing I'm most proud about, to be honest, like it's not about the money I made. It's not about none of that. Like I'm just proud that I was able to make it out of a neighborhood where you get dragged down 9 times out of 10, and provide for my family, put them in a nice neighborhood, and give them an opportunity, to live out their dreams. So for me, that's what I'm most proud about. Like I don't, everything else don't matter. The money is a lot. It helps, but that ain't what I'm proud about.
Right, right, right. Now that's commendable. You know what I'm saying? And one of the main premises about this platform that I created, man, is to really shine a light on those individuals who really put their blood, sweat, and tears into this game. And you know what I'm saying? Throughout the years, your name been one of those names that been ringing bells in the city as well as around the globe, man. So I definitely want to commend you. I want to give you your flowers.
Appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? You did your thing, and you did it at a high level, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you just said, um, not everybody from Cortland Ave makes it to Turkey to play ball. You know what I'm saying? Or makes it to France playing ball. You know what I'm saying? Getting paid for doing the thing that you love, man. Being able to take care of your family. These are things that just being a man. These are things that we strive for. You know what I'm saying? And you were able to accomplish that, doing something that you love, man. So I definitely want to, before we go any further, man, I want to salute you for that, and commend you, bro.
I appreciate it, man. Definitely respect that.
Word up, man. Now, kind of like wrapping this thing up, man. Um, Somebody shouted you out, man. Living legend.
Appreciate it, Jay Streets.
Living legend, man. That's what you are, man. That's what you built. You built this, man. You know what I'm saying? And you deserve all of the recognition. You deserve, you know what I'm saying? You even deserve to talk a little shit out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you pop out this summer, I'm there. and
I
I'm
got you.
going
I'll let you know for sure.
and I'm going to talk this shit for you. Word up. But but yeah, man, wrapping this thing up, man. What advice would you give a kid who kind of faced similar circumstances as you, man? Maybe from an inner city, maybe from, you know what I'm saying, from a block that people don't make it out of. Like what advice would you give them as they're growing up and trying to have a successful career in basketball, whether that be, in college, Division 1, and or playing overseas as you did.
The main thing is, I would say to anybody coming up, man, block out as much distractions as you can. If you got a goal, you got to stick to that 24/7, and you got to do whatever it takes that's going to get you closer to that goal. I mean, it's going to be a lot of trials and tribulations throughout the way. I mean, that's life. But I think as long as you keep your mind on a goal and not in any of distractions or tribulations, I think it's possible for anybody to reach where they were trying to go. Like I said, everybody ain't gonna play D1. Everybody ain't gonna make it to the NBA, but there's plenty of other outlets out there where you can show your talent and become somebody as far as an athlete. So I just want to say to everybody, whoever's trying to chase a dream, chase it, do the best you could at it, and sometimes it don't work, and sometimes it take a long time for it to work. And as long as you keep pushing, it'll come true. It may not be in what you exactly wanted, but another lane might open up for you where you'll be surprised, like you never thought you could do that because you did that. So just stay positive and keep working.
Nah, that's a fact, man. Those are wise words, man. You know what I'm saying? From somebody that actually did it. You know what I'm saying? At a high level. But yo, I forgot to ask you earlier, man. Did you do the AAU thing? Like, did you play on any of these teams that's out there? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know in New York, I'm not quite sure at that time if it was like Riverside and Gauchos heavy, but did you do the AAU thing?
I I played with Riverside for a few. It wasn't no major AU tournaments, but and then like my senior year, before I went, I want to say before I went prep, I played with the Lightning.
Word, word.
Either my junior or my senior, I don't know. That's something I played with the Lightning. I played with Corey Fisher, Justin Burrell, Ryan Williams.
Mm.
Great players like that. I wish I did play AAU though. I just like to be honest, it wasn't because I didn't want to. I just didn't have the resources back then.
Right, right.
So that's
Now,
what it was.
now looking back on everything, man, everything that you've been able to accomplish, in terms of your career. Any regrets that you have, man? Any people that was influential, in your development that you like to kind of acknowledge or shout out and give them that love and respect.
Yeah. As far as regrets go, I don't got no regrets. I just wish I would have handled things better. But no regrets. I don't regret nothing. I feel like for what I went through and for how I was able to like make something happen with my career, I don't regret nothing. I love it. And I definitely got some shout outs. I want to shout out of course, so God bless his soul, Coach Johnny Mathis. He played a major part in everything. And it's just unfortunate that we lost him. Um, Without him, I don't even know if I'd be the man I am today. I also want to shout out Coach Jose, my streetball coach, my brother. He's another person that kept my mind on the swivel and kept me on the right track. Always gave me positive, information via text, via face to face. Um, I also want to shout out Coach Steve Lavin, my senior year coach St. John's. If it wasn't for him, I don't know if I would have had that type of year I had. He installed so much confidence in my game that last year and made me, the pro that I became.
He also said you was one of the best, if not the best shooter that he's ever seen.
Yeah,
That's a quote.
man, and he coached some great players too. So
Right.
I'm honorable for that. Just for him even putting me in that category. That's basically it. And I just want to shout out the fans. Whoever rock with me all these years. I'm just a kid from New York, man, trying to make something happen.
Hey man, you made it happen. Like I said, man, we show you the utmost respect, and what I'm saying, appreciate you for taking the time out, man, to come chop it up, and tell your story, man. It's important. It's important that you get these flowers, man, and that you acknowledge. You know what I'm saying, that we acknowledge you for being that living legend that you are, man. So salute. Whenever you touch down in the city. You know what I'm saying, on them street ball courts, we out there, man. Give me a little advance notice, and we lit from there.
I got you, man. Shout out to All Things Hoops, man. I really appreciate it. The platform is amazing. If you haven't, man, go check it out. It's one of the best podcasts out. Um, and keep doing your thing, bro.
Appreciate you, champ, man. Appreciate those words for real. But yeah, man, you heard it here first, man. Keep your circle tight. You know what I'm saying? Stay focused. Block out the distractions for anybody that's out there, man, that wants to emulate what this man has done in his career. and even maybe have a better career than he had. But I appreciate you, champ.
No doubt. Salute, bro.
Salute. There you have it, man. Dwight Hardy, man, one of the best in the business, man. One of the best college basketball players, high school basketball players New York City has ever produced, man. You know what I'm saying? One of those guys. It don't take you don't have to do much research to find out that Dwight Hardy was one of those ones, man. And I'm so appreciative that what I'm saying, that he got a chance to come onto the platform and to share those things with us, man. Make sure y'all tap in with us, man, every week. We're gonna bring you a new legend. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate everybody out there sharing the content, liking the content, all of that, man. But until next week, we out of here. Peace.